Hello, and welcome. Spring's in full swing, and with it comes a really stacked season of anime. This is one of those seasons where there truly is something for everybody. Big name adaptations, long anticipated sequels, and more than one anime where the protagonists are adults. That's gotta be a new record. But it is also an exciting time for anime originals. Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night had genuinely the best first episode of anime I've seen this season, and I'm extremely excited with where this series is going to go. But the anime I want to focus on here is Train to the End of the World, which is without a doubt the weirdest anime I've seen of the year so far, and probably the weirdest anime since Magical Destroyers, an anime original from last year. And you should join me on its ride as we continue our journey to discover the perfect anime. Our story begins 2 years prior, where a girl named Yuka Nakatami is pressured into activating the new 7G network. Now in theory this would just cause cell service to go pretty smoothly, but instead it ends a freaking world, turning Ikebukuro around her into a world from Psychonauts. Fast forward to today, and in the comfy town of Agano, all the adults are now animals, and slowly becoming less human over time. In fact, in this town, anyone over the age of 21 just automatically becomes an animal. The townsfolk honestly don't seem that bothered by it. Relatable. Agano was pretty lucky from this disaster, given that a neighboring town had everyone turn into trees. But given this is still Japan, there's no excuse for our main characters to not go to school. However, upon finding out that Yoka is still alive and in Ikebukuro since she couldn't really go back home, Shizuru, the main character, decides she wants to go and find her long-lost friend. And her other friends decide to come with, and they embark on leaving their hometown for the first time in 2 whole years. Now you may be wondering how a young girl like Shizuru is able to conduct an entire train, and that's because there's this guy named Zenjiro who just wanders around as a concussed old man most of the time. However, for 5 minutes of the day he turns back to normal and uses his time to instruct Shizuru on how to operate this thing. He doesn't come with the girls, but during the moments that he's sane, he is able to communicate with them via Morse code, and I think that's a pretty cool way to do long-distance communication. Can reverberations actually travel that far? There's no long-distance cell service since the last time that was tried, the world ended, so I thought that was a cool idea on how to communicate between both sides. With most post-apocalyptic stories, there'd be a lot more development into how the world ended. Was it a zombie apocalypse? Perhaps a virus? Maybe an alien invasion? Or was it something not yet explained, like in Heavenly Delusion? But here the focus isn't on what you'd expect a normal post-apocalyptic story to tell. All the girls aren't really that interested in finding out how exactly 7G caused this bizarre situation to happen, or really bringing the world back to normal. They've all pretty much given up on having futures, and while this may seem nihilistic, their goal is to simply reunite with their best friend. Shizuru wants to make amends with her and be friends again, and they just want to make sure that she's okay and alive. And as they travel through the wasteland surrounding them, I love how the setting is designed. It's not a recent apocalypse. Nature has taken back much of what was lost, or what was once thriving is now barren. Towns do still exist, and since there's only 3 episodes so far, I'm not sure how many we'll see, but each one has been affected by the 7G disaster differently. For instance, in episode 3, when they find the town of Higashi Agano, and the townsfolk are a lot more sinister than they appear. But to be completely honest, they keep making all these red flags as apparent as possible. Hello, and welcome to our mushroom town, where everyone here has a mushroom growing out of our heads. You should enjoy your stay and check out our sauna, where it's damp and dark enough, perfect for mushroom growth. You should eat dinner with us and enjoy the bounty of mushrooms. In our town, we have banned Lotrimin and Gold Bond, so there's plenty of fungal growth. You ever play Donkey Kong 64? I really love Fungi Forest. What's wrong? Don't you girls want to become mushrooms? You know what? Just get out of here. With this being a pretty brand new anime, we only have 3 real episodes to go off of, and I have to admit I really like what I've seen so far. In fact, I expect to see half of the locations I've seen in this anime in the upcoming Elden Ring DLC. With the unusual setting, we're given an expectation from the get-go that anything in this world can happen. Above all else, I think my favorite part of this story are the main characters themselves. How they travel together and their friendship is clearly going to be tested as it already has been. But what matters most is just finding their long-lost friend. There's no telling how this story is going to go since there's no source material to base it off of. And the only new anime original I watched in the winter season was legitimately the most disappointing anime of the year so far, so of course any amount of praise that I give this series can bite me back in the future. But I'm still confident in giving it a rating of the Yamanote line over Shonan Shinjuku line. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that this is an extremely promising anime, and I can't wait to see what other wacky destinations the girls get to, as this train ride brings them one step closer to finding the perfect anime. Hey, thanks for watching. It's been a long while since I made a video on a single anime, other than the 100 Girlfriends, of course. And the last one that I made a single review on was the Vending Machine Isekai, so that was a good while ago, and I guess I just like making videos about really unusual anime. This season is still pretty new, so which anime have you checked out so far? And if you enjoyed this video, then be sure to sub for more. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next train stop.